Okay, so kind of like what we practiced in our warm-up where we had a missing number and a number sentence, we are going to practice today. It's called Find Unknown Numbers, okay? So there are strategies we can use. We can use an array. We can use our fact families to find an unknown factor. What is a factor?
A factor is the multiplication problem.
It is in a multiplication problem, so I have two numbers that I multiply, right?
Yeah.
To get a product,
Like 8
which is the answer. These two are called factors, okay? Okay, so let's look at the word problem first. Who wants to read? Allie?
Tanisha plans to invite 24 people to a picnic. The invitations come in packs of 8. How many packs of invitations does Tanisha need to buy? An equation is a number sentence that uses the equal sign to show that two amounts are equal. A simple or method stands for an unknown factor. You can write the equation times
Okay, you got to read loud and clear if you're reading, remember?
to find how many packs of invitations Tanisha needs to find the number n. That makes the equation true.
Good. Okay, so n is our unknown number that we need to find, okay? Okay, so one of the strategies we can use is an array. So they've started it out for us. How many tiles do you see there?
You see
8. So they're doing 8 in a row, and then they're going to keep doing rows of 8 until you get to what?
24.
24. So let's keep doing that. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this would be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So can I stop here, or do I need to do another row?
Another row.
I need to do another row. So that would be 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay? So now I did 8 rows of what? Or 8 in each row, and how many rows did I make?
3.
3. Okay? So now I know the missing factor. 3 times 8 equals 24. Okay? So since there are 3 rows of 8 tiles, the unknown factor is 3. N equals 3. So don't let this letter confuse you. The letter is only standing for a number that we don't know. It would be the same thing as if I put a question mark times 8. So a letter goes there just to say that's a number we need to figure out. Okay? All right, let's flip the page. Okay, another way is to use a multiplication table. It's a multiplication table. But can you make your own? Can you make your own multiplication table? You sure can, because when we got that practice star test, did y'all notice there's grid paper in the front of the booklet that had a bunch of squares?
Yeah.
Okay, so a good strategy would be to rip that paper out and use those boxes to make your own multiplication table, okay? So you would do 0 through 10 going along the top, 0 through 10 going along the side, and start in like you're skip counting. So, do the missing factor in this problem by going on the 8s into where it's 20 4. Follow it over and it lands at 3. Okay, so see how easy that was? I didn't have to sit there and draw out all those squares. So if you take the time at the beginning of your assignment, a table problems would be much easier for you than having to draw out all that stuff, right, Jabea? Okay, now we have a division sentence for number 1. It says, what is the unknown factor shown by this array? Okay, so I have 35 is your total, right?
Yeah.
5 is one of the factors. So now we need to figure out what is this missing number. 35 divided by what equals 5. So I'm going to use the array. If I look at the tiles, I'm going to count the rows and I'm going to count the columns. Okay, so here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So that's probably where this 5 is coming from. Okay, then I count the columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 would be our missing factor or our missing number. Okay, for number 2. D times 3 equals 27. So all that means is what number times 3 equals 27? So let's try a different strategy. Do we want to try a fact family?
Yes.
Okay, so if I do a fact family, I would have 3 times D equals 27. 27 divided by D equals 3. And what would my last one be? 27 divided by what? 3 equals D, okay? So out of those equations we wrote down, which one can we actually solve? Can I do 3 times D if I don't know what D is? No. Can I do 27 divided by D if I don't know? Can I do 27 divided by 3?
Yes.
Yes, I know how to do that. Okay? So how am I going to do 27 divided by 3 if I don't know what the answer is?
Do an array.
I could do an array. Javea, what else? Good. 3 circles. Draw dots until we get to 27. What else? Aaliyah? Skip count by 3s. I like that one because it doesn't require me having to do dots or count the dots. Okay, so let's skip count by 3s. I know there's not very much room, so we can use scratch paper or our dry erase boards if you need extra space. So I'm going to count by 3s, Evangeline, and then I'm going to stop when I get to what? 27. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. Okay, I stop there. I count how many times we skipped.
9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So D equals 9. Okay, so a fact family can help us use an equation that we can actually solve where there's the number in there, okay? So number 3. We'll do this one together, one more together. I'm going to let you try number 4 on your own. So number 3 says 30 divided by something equals 6. Okay? So let's write an equation we can actually solve. 30 divided by 6 equals triangle. Can I solve that one? Yes. So how would I work that out? We want to skip count by 6s.
I used to an array.
An array. Okay, let's do an array since we haven't done that one. Let me grab a scratch sheet of paper real quick because this is not enough space. Okay. So if I'm doing an array for 30 divided by 6, I'll give y'all a second if you need to get a scratch sheet or your dry erase board. So this is a good reminder too of all these things that we've learned back when we started learning about division. Okay, so we would start by making 6 dots or 6 X's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then I would just keep going, Allie, until I get to what? 30. So that's 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now when I'm making my array, is it important that I do it neatly and keep everything lined up? Yes, it is, because when you go back to count, you don't want to miscount just because you were sloppy. So that was 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, now since I was working this way, I now need to count going this way, down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be our answer.
I got it right. I got it right.
Okay, now let's go to number 4 and 5. C equals 4 times 5. I want you to work that one out and number 5 on your own. So you can make it into a fact family and find that missing factor. Okay, let's go ahead and check. So number 4 shouldn't have been too tricky. That's just a regular multiplication problem, 4 times 5. So I could have counted by 5s 4 times, which would give me what? 20. Very good. Okay, number 5. What times 2 equals 14?
7.
Okay, so what could we have done there, Allie?
We could do. We could look up there.
Okay, well that's not always going to be there, so you have to know how to do it on paper.
Yeah, first.
What would you do?
First I did the thing and I put a circle.
You put a circle? Just one circle or 2?
2.
2 circles. Okay, and do what?
Then I put 14 in there. No, not 14. Then I put some numbers in there.
Can you help her out on explaining this, the circles? Okay, counting by 2. So if we don't want to draw the circles, skip count by 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 skips. So 7 was your missing factor. Okay? Let's try number
6 and 7.
7 and 10, 11, and 13. Okay, so I'm going to walk around the room. I'm going to let you guys try these on your own. Okay, because it's kind of a review, but kind of not. You're introduced to the letters being in there. So the letters just stand for missing numbers. Okay, so 2 ways we could work this out. Set up your own fact family and find the equation you can work out. Okay, and all of those strategies we've learned, like arrays, skip counting, equal groups. Okay, so go ahead and try these: 7, 10, 11, and 13. Working them out on your scratch sheet. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what you got. Number 7, 8 times E equals 64. So 8 times what would equal 64? Strategy we could have used is an array. I would have done 8 and kept doing rows of 8 until I got to 64. So what would we end up with, Evangeline? 8. Good. 8 times 8 is 64. Okay, number 10, I walked around the room and I saw a lot of us were missing this. Okay, this number in a division sentence has to be what?
It has to be a bigger number.
It has to be the biggest number. So if you're getting 2, 2 would not work. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so I'm going to write it over here on my scratch sheet of paper so I have more room. Okay, so the problem was what divided by 6 equals 3. Okay, so I'm going to do a fact family to make this make sense to me. Right now, the order that it's in, it's not making sense because I cannot work this out, right? So I'm going to flip it around to see if I can work it out. So for division fact families, that biggest number still has to be in front. The only thing I do is flip around the back two. So 3 and 6. Can I work this out?
Yeah.
No, I can't work that out. It's kind of like the one up top. I can't work that out. Okay? So now multiplication. This box would now go at the end because that's your biggest number. And these two become your factors. 3 times 6 equals something, and 6 times 3 equals something. Now I can work these out, right?
Yes.
3 times 6, what does that equal?
18.
18. So 18 divided by 6 equals 3. Now does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. If we had put 2 there, that would not make sense. I can't do 2 and divide it into 6. Okay. All right, number 10 or number 11 was 36 equals P times 6. So what number times 6 equals 36? So this is still like a multiplication problem. They just put the answer in front. Okay. So what would we do to solve this? Bryson, what do you think? If I want to put it in the correct order so it doesn't confuse me, I can. So it's P times 6 equals 36 with the answer at the end. What could I do to get P? Do an array? Good. So what would I do if I'm making an array, Kelsey?
You would draw 6 X's on the side after I did, and and then, or you could either skip count.
Yeah, I could skip count. So I'm going to keep doing rows of 6 until I get to 36.
Yes.
I just did over here rows of 6. So I know it's going to be at least 5, right?
Yes.
So that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Okay? So now I count going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 is your missing factor. Did we get that one?
Which, are you on number 10?
That was number 11.
Oh.
Okay, and then we skipped 12. We're going to go to 13. Allie, keep your chair still, please. Okay, 40 divided by something equals 4. Can I work this out?
Yes.
No, but if I do a fact family and do 40 divided by 4 equals triangle, now can I work that out? Yes. So how would I do 40 divided by 4? Skip count? Array? What did you guys do over here at this table? Y'all did an array? An array? Aaliyah, what'd you do? You what? You just knew the answer by looking at it because it's a 4 and a 4 with a 0 on the end. What would the answer be? 10. Very good. You got them all right. Good. Okay, now let's look at the next page. I don't think you'll see very many problems like this, but we're going to go ahead and look at it just so you're not stumped if you do see it. Now, when you have a problem like this in math, you have to make both sides of the equal sign equal. Okay? So that means whatever 3 times 6 is, I have to make this side equal that same thing. Does that make sense? Okay, well I can do 3 times 6. What does that equal? 3 times 6 equals 18. So now I need to make k times 9 equal 18. Okay, so what number times 9 is going to give me 18? Okay, well let's skip count if we don't know. 9. What comes next? 18. Well, I'm already there. How many times did I skip? 2. So k equals 2. So if I plug that number in, 2 times 9 equals 3 times 6. They have to both equal the same amount. Do they both equal the same amount? Yes, they both equal 18. Okay, 15, the same thing. This side, can I work this side out? 4 times y? No. Can I work out 2 times 6?
Yes.
What does that equal?
2 times 6 equals 12.
12. So since this side equals 12, I need to make this side equal 12. So 4 times what would give me 12? 3. Very good. So y would equal 3.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, does that make sense now? So on 16 we see a division symbol and a subtraction symbol. But we still need to have both sides equal the same amount. So if I look at 16, can I work this problem out?
No.
No. Can I work this one out?
Yes.
What's 36 minus 26?
36 minus 26 equals 10.
10. Good. So now we know this equals 10. I need to figure out what can make this side equal 10. 30 divided by what is going to give me 10?
30 divided by...
Well, what if I don't know? Can I do 30 divided by something else?
Yeah.
Yes. Can I do 30 divided by 10?
Yes. That equals 3.
Good. 10. If I skip count, 10, 20, 30, that would equal 3. So 30 divided by 3 equals 10. So G equals 3. Very good. Okay, I want you guys to try number 19. Let's try number 19. We have to make both sides equal. Okay, so we paused it to give you guys time, pause the video to give you guys time. So now let's check your answer. I'm going to do it on paper, scratch paper, because this is not enough room for me. So number 19 was 8 times h equals 60 minus 4, okay? So I start with the side that I can actually work out. Can I work out 8 times h? No. Can I work out this part? Yes. So 60 minus 4 is 56. So 8 times what would equal 56? So now it goes back to the beginning, how we worked them out. We had to find a strategy. 8 times what means I can do an array, right? You could skip count. So if I do 8s, it would be 8, 16, 32, 40, 48, 56. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 8 times 7 would equal 56. So that means H equals what? 7. Good. Okay. That's all I wanted to show you on those types of problems. So let's go ahead and skip to the back. And I just want to do number 26 on this page, okay? Last one, and then we're going to go on to our assignment. Lenny and Kristen each made a batch of 24 brownies. Lenny cut his brownies into 3 equal rows. Kristen cut her brownies into 4 equal rows. How many more brownies are in each of Lenny's rows than are in Kristen's rows? Okay, so we have 2 people, right? Are they both using the same amount of brownies to cut or put into rows? Yes. They're both using how many? Say it out loud. How many? No, how many brownies are they using in all? 24 brownies. So circle that. That's important. Let's just start with Lenny. Lenny is cutting his brownies into 3 equal rows. So Lenny is taking 24 brownies and splitting it into 3. Okay, then we're going to do Kristen. Kristen is taking 24 brownies and splitting it into what?
3.
No, look again.
4.
4 equal rows. Okay? But is that all we had to do?
No.
No. If I read that question again, it says how many more brownies are in each of Lenny's rows than are in Kristen's rows. So what does that mean? Subtract. So now, after I divide those, I need to subtract. Okay? So we have 3 different things we need to do. Lenny, 24 divided by 3. Kristen, 24 divided by 4. And then we have to subtract our answers. Okay? So what's 24 divided by 3? 8. Very good. 24 divided by 4? No? Not 4. 6. Really helps if you know your facts. Okay? Now I know the answer to those 2 problems. What am I going to do now, Bryson? Subtract what, though? What am I going to subtract? 8 minus 6. So 8 minus 6 equals 2. Good. So B is correct. Okay, so that was a multi-step problem. I wanted to do that together because you're going to see some multi-step problems on 15 and 16, okay? So go back if you can't remember what to do and look back at this one because it's pretty similar, okay? Those same words. How many more? How much money does Denny spend in all? So make sure you're doing all the steps, okay? So go ahead and tear this out. This will be your assignment for today. You will need a scrap sheet of paper. There is not enough room in this little area if you need to draw an array, okay? So if you're showing your work, I expect it to look like this with the number next to it so I know that goes with that number, okay?